Hi, everybody. Let me get my headset in. Oh, this is silly. I should have had this up. Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me this time. I have been having issues. With technology. So I am going to try to go live and see if this works from my computer because my phone is kaputzo. So if you guys can hear me and you can see me as you hop on, let me know if you can hear and see me because craziness is happening with my technology. So give me some thumbs up if you can hear me. And if you can't, I'm going to end this and probably just give up till I get my new phone. So hi, everybody. Hope you can hear what I'm saying. Can somebody answer me or let me know if you are hearing me? Yes, can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Yay. Okay, good. Hi. Where in the world? Oh, good. I'm so glad. Hi, Sally. Hi, Elvira and Leslie and Sally. Yay, it's good to be back. Hi, Nancy. Good to see you too. So where have I been? I have been locked in cell phone purgatory. Locked in cell phone purgatory. So I'm doing this live from my computer. So thus the little headset. So I'm hoping that you can hear me. And where in the world has Cindy been? So many of you have been so kind. And you have asked, or if you saw me on my daughter's makeup tutorial earlier today, you're like, where have you been? So I have been tap dancing across the country with a cell phone with no speaker capacity. So I have to use a Bluetooth headset, and it works for talking to people on the phone, but it apparently does not work with Facebook Live. So I had this grand idea today that what if I used my computer? Because I think I've done one before on my computer. So as you see me trying to manipulate and welcome you. Hi, Marie and Vicky and Nancy and Jana. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I've missed you guys. I hope you've missed hearing from me too. Janet and Courtney, how are you guys? Hey, feel free to hit the share button. Feel free to give some likes and thumbs up. Hi, Kim. How are you? I'm good to see you. And Lisa, good to see you too. So where have I been and where am I going? So let's talk about that. Where have I been? I came from a lifetime of obesity. I came from always being probably, if not the heaviest, close to the heaviest person in any gathering I was in. And it started at an early age, and ketogenic eating, low carb, high fat, or low carb, healthy fat, has radically changed my life. It has set me free. I'm down 75 pounds. I have started this Facebook page so I can help others, and that's my goal. So feel free to type in some questions. I'm going to try to keep up with them over here. So I've been traveling around the country with a broken phone, not so good. And next week I'll be in Atlanta for work, and then I get to see Rachel and Justin and baby Noah. So since she does have a working cell phone, we will do some stuff there. I want to show you how to make my granola. Oh my goodness. The granola recipe is, I got crazy hair today. The granola, see, this is why you look into the camera and you don't look at yourself. Big bad thing. So anyway, Keto Connect has this granola recipe that they posted a couple of weeks ago that mimics the Nature Valley cinnamon crisp granola bar that they have. So I took it and I made it. I bought the little silicone molds. I couldn't get it to stay in a piece. It all broke apart. So I said, screw it. What? I said, shoot with that. I am going to just make granola. So I've modified the recipe, and I've tested it with other people. It's amazing. So next week with Rachel, if not this weekend with Lauren Getman, my other daughter, I will post that and we'll show you how to make it. If you have a food processor. Now, I do use peanut butter powder. And those of you that are purists, you don't have to do that. You can just do the cinnamon vanilla, but I will do that. And so that's where I've been. I've been lost in cell phone purgatory. And I have been found again because if you guys can hear me on the computer until whenever I get my cell phone, a new cell phone, we can still stay in touch. Where am I going? I'm headed towards continued good health and vitality. 61 years old. Feel free to share this with others that are, if you're in that age range, anywhere 45 to 85. When you lower your processed carbs, when you choose to eat more whole foods and you choose to eat natural foods, and the processed food for the most part that I eat, that's processed food, I process in my food processor or I process it with my knife. So I eat very few things in a cellophane wrapper or a bag other than say things like almond flour, and my butter is wrapped in wax paper and stuff like that. So I am going to continue on in my lifestyle. I have a couple of upcoming speaking engagements. Let me see. 74, good for you, Shannon. I'm trying to see if you guys are asking me some questions. This is your chance Thanks, Sharon. Nice to see you too. Hi, Paige. Hi, Shen. I'm looking for questions. Who has questions about the ketogenic lifestyle? You've been stalled forever, Cynthia. Cindy to Cindy. It is a very normal thing, especially if you're of a certain age, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Oh, thanks, Bev. You're welcome. My journey it's been such a miraculous journey for me. I have been so set free that I can't not share it. I can't not share it. I can't not walk it out. And then try to communicate to others that might have been so lost for so long, like I was, that you feel that there's no hope. And I tell you, there is hope. And you just have to, my daughter, Lisa Tate, who's my husband's daughter, and I just adore her. She shared a song with me. I lost my mom a month ago, and it's been a really tough month. And it's been it's been hard. So she shared this song with me called Step by Step, and I'm going to post it after this, because when you listen to it, I just want you guys to close your eyes. And this, Cynthia, goes to your stall as well as all sorts of things in life, is that we don't have to run to get to our destination. We don't have to expect to be over our grief overnight or over our insulin resistance or our type 2 diabetes. But if we take a step left and right and left and right, just walk it out day by day, sometimes minute by minute or hour by hour. I'm a little teary here because it was such a great song, and it really spoke to me that we can make it if we don't give up. And sometimes it's baby steps, and sometimes you feel like you're going backwards or the stall lasts forever. My longest stall on the scales, now remember, it's a stall on the scales, which is our least reliable way of measuring success, because there's many other ways. My longest stall was 8 months, ladies and gentlemen. 8 months. Been doing this 2 years. Longest stall, 8 months. What broke my stall, you say? I went on a cruise with my sister, Debbie Stokes, this is totally her fault that I'm doing low carb, because she's the one that sent me the Dr. Sarah Hallberg video. But I went on a cruise with her, and we had agreed, it was a 7-day cruise. It's a keto cruise, and that's where I got to meet so many amazing people. And we decided that we would commit nothing non-keto, but anything that was a meat or a fat or a non-starchy vegetable, we would eat it. And we were on a cruise, and we wanted to eat stuff. I had escargot and Debbie, if she's on, escargot and butter sauce, garlic butter sauce, almost every night. I had steak. I had lobster, which isn't my favorite food, but those snails and butter sauce, oh my gosh. You name it, we ate it. We would go to the pizza joint every night and strip and get multiple pieces of pizza and strip off the cheese and have a midnight snack before we hit the rack. It was just great fun. Did my first 5-10K. So step by step. So Cynthia, don't despair. There are things. Hi, Debbie. Oh, I just was talking about you. Yes, my sister. So everybody say hi to Debbie. So stalls are inevitable. This is not a ski slope, right? Even a ski slope has little bunny hops. This is a stair step, and that's what I want you to think about it. So you'll stall, and then you'll drop. Maybe half a pound, maybe a couple pounds. You'll stall, and then you'll drop. And there seems to be some weirdness with women over 40, 45. And I don't think it's weirdness. It's just the way our bodies are and our hormones. That once you've lost somewhere between 40 and 60 pounds, maybe a little bit less, depends on how much you have to lose, that your body goes, wait a minute, what are you doing to me? It doesn't really say that, but I'm a little dramatic today. Philadelphia brings that out. That's where I'm at. I'm in Philadelphia today. The body just goes into, I don't know if it's shock. I don't know if it thinks you might be in a famine. I don't know if it hit this little set point. There's some interesting things out there about our body's set point. It's like our thermostat so far as what weight it feels safe and comfortable at, or what it's used to. And so you hit this set point, and we're this stall, and your body's like, I'm not quite sure I'm in a safe environment, because your body's prime directive is to be safe, to stay alive. And so if you've been at a certain weight all this time and you've now lost 10%, 20% of your body weight, look at it that way. Your body is trying to readjust. So what do you do? So we went on this cruise. You have to mix it up. You have to try something different. We went on the cruise, and I probably ate more calories in those 7 days than I had in a long time. But I ate all sorts of different foods I wasn't accustomed to. For whatever reason, I don't know why it did it to my body, but my body probably felt, oh my gosh, she's not in a famine. She's in this time of feasting. I got home from the cruise. I'd lost 2 pounds after 8 months of a stall. And then I lost another 3 the rest of the week. So I lost 5 pounds after a cruise, which is highly unusual. So stalls can be that you've let carb creep come back in, where these little carbs, maybe a bite of this, a bite of that. Maybe you're still eating the same number of calories that you were before, and you don't need as many. Maybe you need to increase your calories. Maybe you need to do some resistance training. And resistance training does not mean buying a gym membership. Your body weight is enough of that. So one of the things that I've really been working on, and let me see if I've got before I just keep going off and off on my tangent. Squirrel, squirrel. I'm feeling pretty sassy because I'm back on. We did eat well. Our brains try to get us to put on weight. Yeah, you're right, Marcy. Is that Marcy? Marie, I'm sorry. Our brains are just like, wow, we want you safe. Oh, Kathy, Kathy Dowdy, you hit 100 pounds? Oh, I'm so proud of you. Kathy Dowdy and I are high school buddies, and her daughter, Rachel, she stole the name from my daughter, Rachel, when we were both pregnant. I think, were we pregnant at the same time, Kathy? But anyway, her daughter was born first, so she couldn't have stolen the name Rachel. That's been a joke for many years. Kathy, I'm so proud of you. And now I'm going to probably start boo-hooing, because you and I, Kathy, struggled forever. We struggled forever. We tried everything. Congratulations. This is awesome. I'm so proud of you. I want to interview you soon. And even if those of you that are feeling depressed, you're feeling it's not worth it, it is so worth it. It is so worth it because it repairs things inside of you. It's not just about the scales. Please, we celebrate that. I'm celebrating Kathy losing 100 pounds. But do you know what that really means? It means her life expectancy has shot up, barring some crazy accident or something. It means that her inflammation is way down. Her chance of developing age-related neurologic issues is down. It means that her chance of living a more sustained, vibrant lifestyle is way up. I'm so proud of you, Kathy. I just can't even stand it. I'm just, Tammy, in size 10 from 24, even though no weight loss. Why? Not any at all, Tammy? Well, it's a protein-sparing diet. And when it's protein-sparing, when you go on a low-calorie, low-fat diet, you die. Die, D-I-E. So that's why this is a lifestyle, okay? It's a way of eating. But we don't want to die on our diet. But what happens when you do low calories, you have a balance of muscle loss, not a balance. You have fat loss, but you also lose muscle mass. Muscle mass is the furnace that tells that the more muscle I have, even as a woman, and I'm not talking, I'm going to pump you up. Okay, old. You have to be of a certain age to have seen that on Saturday Night Live. I'm going to pump you up. To understand what I mean. Not that. You don't have to have the big bulky muscles, but we need muscles. We lose muscle as we age. We lose muscle with low-calorie diets. And so when you're eating the proper amounts of protein and fat, and you've stripped out those carbohydrates that are processed, and you've given your body adequate calories, it will spare the protein, your muscle, and it will use the fat. And so it is a muscle-sparing, protein-sparing diet, and that's why. And Kathy, I just keep celebrating. I'm just like amazed that you've lost 100 pounds. I'm so amazed. And I bought with my daughter, Rachel D. We were out shopping at JCPenney's the other day, and I've been buying most of my clothes for a long time at the Salvation Army because I get such great deals and my size has been changing. And I saw this really nice suit jacket on sale on the clearance rack, which is really exciting. And I went and I just slid it on. I didn't have my glasses on, so I thought it was a size 8. I thought, ooh, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to see if this 8 will slide on, because I bought one other size 8 suit jacket. You know, they don't have any give really if they're tailored. And I tried it on. I went over and showed her. It was like $14, originally $90. $14. And I said, what do you think? And she goes, that's great. What size is it? And I pulled it off and I looked at the paper tag versus the little tag in the back. It was a size 6. It was a size 6. So it's a protein sparing way of eating. It's not a diet. And you said Nancy. Sharon, you said Nancy, but I'm Cindy. But everyone calls me Nurse Nancy. It's hilarious. I will be in Austin in June for KetoCon. I have already bought my tickets. Let's talk about that. I will be in, hi, Cindy from Georgia. I know. Oh, I know. We can't wait to meet everybody. Lindy. Oh, Lindy, you're going to love my sister. It's amazing. So, Kathy, thank you. You know what? We each could be an inspiration. When you walk this out, even if you don't tell people what you're doing, as they see you lose the weight, they're going to start asking questions. I can't tell you how many people at my workplace and out in the field when I'm out with our clinical reps and our different people that come up to me and say, hey, I started doing what you did because I saw you lose weight and I've known you for so many years. Be that inspiration, be that bright light. You don't have to get all fanatical about it. And I tell people when they first ask me, I don't go until I'm on ketogenic and I do my macros or this, because I don't really track anything. I just keep, the only thing I do take care of is I watch my carbohydrate intake and everything else. But anyway, be that light, because I basically tell them I've dropped off all sugars. I've dropped grains. I'm eating more whole foods and and they go, you're not eating it. And I say, I'm doing low carb. And they're like, you don't eat any carbs? I said, I do, but I eat green leafy vegetables, nuts and seeds and things like that, a little bit of dairy. And they're like, oh, so be that light. Where was I? I was talking about, so I am going to be at Low Carb KC in Kansas City. Do you live near Kansas City? It's coming up October 19th and 20th. I'm speaking there with Dr. Eric Westman and Dr. Adam Nally and Christy Honeycutt Sullivan. She's one of the nicest people you will ever. She's doing a book signing there. She's amazing. If you've not gone to Cooking Keto with Christy, her YouTube channel, she's now with dietdoctor.com, and they do different cooking shows. Go to dietdoctor.com, a wealth of information. But there are so many great speakers that are coming in for that. My sister Debbie and I are flying in, and free hugs to all. Free hugs to all. I can't wait to meet all of you. And then I'm going to be, the following weekend, she and I are going to be, we're traveling buddies, even though she lives in Virginia and I live in Texas. But we're going to be in Houston at the Low Carb Houston event, which is an amazing event. If you're a healthcare provider, if you're a nurse, a doctor, physical therapist, podiatric surgeon, you know them, you should share this with them if they live in or near either KC or Houston. The KC event, the Kansas City event, is not contact hours. It's no CMEs or continuing education hours. But the one in Houston is. It's being sponsored by the University of Houston Clear Lake. You think we have a chance of getting some mainstream acceptance there? So if you are a physician or a nurse and you need contact hours, that one is going to have those available. And they're going to have amazing people too. Gary Taubes is going to be there. I think Nina Teicholz is going to be there. We're going to, I forget that it's an amazing lineup. Low Carb Houston. I posted the link yesterday. I'll repost the link for KC. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, Lindy, you're going to love my sister. So let's see if there's any other questions. You're just so sweet. Christy's new book is great. Dr. Nally's is the best. He is amazing. He's a board certified family medicine and obesity specialist out, I think it's Surprise, Arizona, which is near Phoenix. So if you're looking for someone good in that area, he's amazing. Definitely keto. Dr. Jeffrey Gerber is in the Denver area. Definitely keto. You've got Dr. Ken Berry out in Tennessee. You've got Dr. Eric Westman in the Duke area. He's got an obesity and lifestyle medicine clinic that's definitely keto. So there's a lot of getting more and more things. Yeah, Kathy, I can't wait to see her again. I got to meet Christy on the cruise, and she's amazing. We actually danced a couple of nights. We went up to the dance floor and just hilarious. I love to dance. I don't know if I've told you guys that, but I love to dance. So, good, Stephanie, I can't wait. You got to come up and give me a big hug. So let me see if there's any other comments. Susan, yep, Dr. Nally. I was getting too much, Cindy says I was getting too much protein, but weight loss stopped, doing a little less weight loss, starting again. Oh, good. Sometimes we get into a rut of boredom. Self-soothing. Food can be a very self-soothing sort of mechanism. So it's challenging, especially I had a really long day yesterday. I was driving all around Colorado, going and doing different talks for my job, for my real job. And then I flew out. I didn't get into bed here in Philadelphia till 1 a.m. And I've got a talk to do here in a little bit. So I can't stay on too much longer, but I wanted to talk to you. Let me see if there's any other questions. If I've missed your question because of all the comments, go ahead and, Dr. Adam Nally, Nally. And yes, no problem. Are you coming to Atlanta anytime soon? Christy. Oh, Christy, we should do a meetup. I am going to be in Atlanta Tuesday night through Sunday. And I do have a little bit of free time. So we should, my daughter Rachel D, who lives there too, we should try to meet up and do like a little, I don't know. She lives up in Lawrenceville. I'm speaking down near Buckhead. Does that make sense? So yeah, there's an opportunity for us. We should do an Atlanta meetup. We should do a little impromptu hug and greet and maybe at a coffee shop or something. So let's look at that. So let me see if there's any other comments. Keto, Houston area, Janice. So Janice, the only one I know of, top of my head, is Dr. Nadir, Nadir Ali, Ali. He is a cardiologist at the University of Houston, Clear Lake. And he has a cardiology practice that does keto. He has a Facebook page and a website, I think it's a website, but Facebook and YouTube channel called Eat Mostly Fats. Eat Mostly Fats. And I tagged him in that University Low Carb Houston post I did yesterday. So you can click on Eat Mostly Fats. He's amazing. And I think he has a couple of guys or gals that he knows of. I'll have to look at the low carb event. I think he has a couple of local speakers doing it too. But that's good. But Dr. Nadir Ali, Ali. So hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Elizabeth Marshall's joined. What was turning point to go keto? Oh, Adriana, that's a really great question. So what triggered me to do it was my sister was doing it. So community is important. Secondly, she sent me a video by Dr. Sarah Hallberg, Hallberg. And Debbie, if you're still on and you can find that link to that YouTube video you sent me, it's a TED Talk, and it's called What If We've Been Treating Diabetes All Wrong? Now, I wasn't diabetic, but I was pre-diabetic. My hemoglobin A1C was creeping up. I'd been overweight my entire life. I am in the lowest size clothing that I remember ever. Now, I'm sure I blew past a size 8, 10 when I was maybe 10. In my adult life, I've never been this small. Can anybody say amen to that? Can anybody give me a thumbs up? And you do not remember the last time that you did not feel big. Yeah. So I think it was that I was so hopeless. I had tried so many things. I could have had a bronze plaque above the Weight Watchers class door that said, "This site funded by Cindy." I had joined so many times, and I'm not saying anything against them, but it didn't work for me. I was constantly counting points, and protein had too many points, and then I would feel like, oh, I don't want to waste my points on protein. Heaven forbid I should waste my points on fat. So I would have the low points thing, which tended to be higher carbohydrates, which made me hungry all the time. And I could do it for just sheer willpower for a little bit of time, and then I would give up. So my sister, Debbie Stokes, sent me this TED Talk by Dr. Sarah Hallberg, who's out of Indiana, and she now helps run Virta Health, Virta, and they are a great online remote, telehealth company that works with companies to help lower the rate of diabetes, type 2 diabetes in the workplace. So it's fantastic. But anyway, Debbie sent that to me. She'd been doing low carb a couple of weeks, and I did not want to talk to her about it. And every time she'd bring that up, oh my God, this is just so amazing. I would change the subject, tell her I had to go. And one day she said, "Cindy, do you realize you're doing that to me?" And she called me out on it. And I'm like, I had known. I just thought I was sneakier than I was, and I wasn't. So she said, "If I send you a video, will you watch it?" What do you say to that? No. Yeah, I said, sure. And I did, and I watched it. And as Dr. Sarah Hallberg was talking through what food does and how food triggers different hormonal responses in our body, especially as it relates to being overweight and being diabetic, it was like these light bulbs and these bells and these rainbows and glitter were just flying into my, out of my brain, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense the way she explained it. And I was like, oh, drats, now I have to do it. So I wasn't particularly happy starting. I thought I would just do it for a while, but what I found was it set me free from my food and addiction, carbohydrate. I was a carbaholic. I was eating so much garbage. I was a sneak eater. I would hide things. It was bad. It was really bad. And it set me free. It set me free. So I'm going to need to go here in just a minute and speak to all these operating room nurses that are here in Philadelphia. You have a neurodiagnosis that keeps my cortisol sky high, but found a doctor in Houston that's working on it, stalled for 1 year because of it. Wow, Tammy, if you feel comfortable, does he help you with keto types? Does he understand keto, or could you post his name if you want to? Oh my, Diane, yours was, yeah. What are some of y'all's other triggers? Post for me what your triggers were. Diane, wow, your granddaughter told you, I will remember you, Nana, you're the fat one. Oh, yeah, that'll get you when the kids say things like that. Yeah, diverticulitis and keto. Diverticulitis is a challenge. It's where you have, Linda, it's where you have little pouches in your intestines that have formed, little weakened areas. Our intestines, our colon, they're what they call smooth muscle, and it contracts. That's how we have bowel movements. And what will happen over time is that you can develop little pouches, little areas of weakening. So instead of a solid tube, you've got these sort of little bubbles, if you will, and food can get trapped in there versus moving through. And the bacteria builds up as that food sort of stagnates in your gut, and it can let the bacteria grow. So diverticuli is the name of the pouch, and diverticulitis is when they become inflamed or infected. Extremely painful. My sisters had a couple of really bad bouts. I've had one bad bout. And keto, if you've never had a diverticulitis attack, there may be it just may be just happenstance. It may be that you're eating a food that got caught there, but they tend to say you can't do keto because you have to have a lot of fiber. Actually, when you look, if you Google keto and diverticulitis, there's a lot of great just diverticulitis focused podcasts or things on YouTube. I think Dr. Ken Berry has it. I think Dr. Jeffrey Gerber has done some stuff. I'm trying to think Dr. Eric Westman from Adapt Your Life. He's the guy from Duke, has done some stuff on that. And there's some other things out there. But diverticulitis, if you're having recurrent flares, that's something you'll have to address with someone that's more knowledgeable than I am. But typically, a lot of your IBS, a lot of your colitis type, things will disappear or decrease. Your symptoms will decrease dramatically because fiber is not necessarily the end-all be-all that we've been told. For the same number of years we've been told to be afraid of fat. So I'm sorry if you've been having some flare-ups, but you'll need to get more advice from someone smarter than me. Yeah, some days I don't get any greens and still no problem. Yeah, so Susan replying to Linda, yeah, carnivore people don't. In fact, a lot of people go more more protein-based and less fiber because it does reduce them. Do I recommend keto for new moms? My daughter's breastfeeding. Her 2-month-old isn't interested in keto. Okay, so Mari, that's a really good. Now, first off, as you guys know, I'm a nurse, registered nurse times 40 years. I'm not a doctor. I'm not your doctor, or certainly not her doctor. But I want you to think of keto in a broader sense. I want you to think of it as that she would be removing processed, preservative-free dye. She would be removing high preservatives, high dye, high names of things that have been added to the foods that we cannot pronounce. And she would be moving towards a more whole food where she's eating natural things from the earth, above the ground, the green leafy vegetables. She would be increasing her fat intake, which is really good for her breast milk. My daughter, Rachel D., who's a type 1 diabetic, is breastfeeding Noah still. He's 7 months old now, and she's keto. She has about 50 carbs a day, mostly because she's type 1 diabetic on an insulin pump. But there's some things out there on breastfeeding and keto. I think Maria Emmerich, and that's Emmerich, not ICK, but ICH, Maria Emmerich, has some stuff about breastfeeding and keto. But I want you to think of it as not as this weird thing, but you're eating whole foods. You're having beef, and you're having pork, and you're having chicken and eggs, and these are things that are nutrient dense. They're nutrient dense. They're mostly free of a lot of the crap that's added to give shelf life to things. She's going to be drinking a lot of good water. She's going to eat those things that are going to give her body the building blocks that will be then passed through her breast milk to her baby. I'm not talking about crazy stuff. I'm talking about looking at it from a point as if she stripped out her processed sugars, the donuts, the cakes, the candies. If any of us do that, if any of us even go to 50 grams a day, we've dramatically changed the trajectory of what we're putting in our body, and what we put in our body spits out a reaction from our hormones. So that's her call, Mari, if she wants to do that, but it is certainly not going to hurt that baby if she doesn't have sugary cereal and a lot of fruit juice in her regime, and she switches over to things that aren't going to spike her insulin up so much. So that, and her blood sugar. So that's a thought, and that's certainly her call. I encourage her to do some more research. You don't have a gallbladder? Yeah, I don't have a gallbladder, Brenda, whoever asked that. So making sure you're not getting making sure you are not constipated is a big deal. So Linda, so let me see who said that first. I recommend Dr. Nally's book, The Keto Cure. It was great. That's a great book. That is a great book. So let's talk about constipation. Constipation is where the food that you've eaten has stayed in your colon. The colon, which is your large intestine, is where the water is absorbed. It's not moving out in a timely manner. The colon is where water is absorbed from the food you've eaten or the things you've had to drink. And the longer the stool stays in, because that's the end product of what we don't use in our food, the longer it stays in your large intestine, the more dehydrated it gets, all right? So the thought being that fiber helps keep it bulky, and that's going to cause the body to move it along. But many people who eat a lot of fiber still have constipation issues. One way you can do this, you can increase your green leafy vegetables if you want. The other way to do this, and you can take a fiber supplement if you want, but one of the best ways to do this, if you think about if this stuff is getting dehydrated in my large intestines and I need to bring water into it, or I want to keep water in my gut, you guys have probably heard me talk about my salt shots. 1/4 teaspoon of salt in a little jigger of warm water, shoot it down, and then follow that with some water in the morning, especially if I want to put a couple of drops of lemon, and that will, the salt that you take in will pull fluid into your gut, and you're going to have a nice trip to the bathroom. Another natural remedy is magnesium. Many of us are low on magnesium anyway, and magnesium supplements can definitely help you have a more normal bowel movement. It sort of helps things move along. The little blue bottle, those of you that remember the commercials about Mother's Friend, milk of magnesia, MOM, Mom's Friend. So that laxative is magnesium. You don't need to take a laxative to really get your gut moving, because that'll give you diarrhea. But you do want to think about, do I need to have a daily maintenance of a salt shot or two? I took one day, I felt like, well, if a quarter teaspoon's good, a half must be better. Oh, don't do that much. Holy smokes. I could have had a colonoscopy. I was so clean. So that's one option for diabetes, for if you have constipation. Hi, Frank. How you doing? Love your little things. Yeah, I don't have a gallbladder either, Nancy. Your gallbladder is simply a repository or a bladder, like your bladder holds your urine. The gallbladder holds your bile. Bile is produced to help us. The bile salts are produced in the liver. It slides down into your gallbladder, sort of tucked up underneath, and it holds bile so that when we eat a high-fat meal, it can squirt it out, and you get this bile joining the fatty food in your small intestines. So if your gallbladder's been taken out because of gallstones or you've got, some sort of infection there, then you don't have the reservoir. You're still producing bile. And many people will develop a little pseudo bladder, like a little cup there to hold some extra. When I first had mine out about 20 some years ago, not everything I ate gave me diarrhea because I ate a lot of fatty carbohydrate food, and it just shushed through. But over time, that'll level out. Now you can take some ox bile salts. There's nutritional over-the-counter fat soluble enzymes, so it'll help dissolve the fat. Lipase is the one you want to look for in particular. So I'm going to see what time it is because I need to go here in just a little bit. But let's see. Yeah, gallbladder is not what are the top supplements I recommend taking every day? Susan, that's such a big question. And it's a good question, but it's going to vary on, are you eating nutrient-dense foods? Do you feel that food has adequate nutrients, especially the plants that you're eating? because our soil in many areas has become very depleted. Unless you live in Hawaii, you can farm it right there, and that nice rich soil is still good. So what I do personally, and this is what I do, I take a good multivitamin, just a standard multivitamin. I use the doTERRA ones because they're natural and they've got essential oils in them. I take magnesium malate. I take a fish oil, omega-3 that I get at Costco. I take a probiotic that I get at Costco. I take CoQ10, and I take a vitamin D. I think that's what I take. I'm trying to think if I take anything else. Oh, and I take iodine drops. I take 3 iodine drops of that Lugol solution. I do have a goiters forming on my thyroid for many years of probably not taking in enough iodine or whatever else causes goiters. So I'm going to have another ultrasound. They keep growing. So I've got these little nodules on my neck. They're not too bad, but anyway, and that's oftentimes due to low iodine. Many people are very low in vitamin D. Please, that's get some sunshine or consider taking some vitamin D. But and then I just started taking some berberine, berberine, berberine. And Dr. Adam Nally has some that he sells on his website, which is docmuscles.com, which is I trust him about the supplements that he has private labeled, berberine. And that is supposed to help, because my fasting blood sugars, okay, you ready for this? My A1C is down to 5.4. My fasting insulin is 2.4, which is really great. But my blood sugars during the day are running in the 90s. And I should be in like the 70s. So I started taking berberine because it's going to theoretically help my body manage that blood glucose a little bit more. So I'm trying to see if that's going to help. I'll let you know. But many people, like Dr. Eric Westman, doesn't really recommend any, and some people recommend a whole bunch. I think just be cautious of who you're listening to. Want you to buy only theirs, and it's hundreds of dollars a month. We're eating very nutrient-dense foods. So I get a lot of my supplements from Costco. What I've read in Consumer Reports is that they do a lot of testing on their stuff, and it's trustworthy. But that's where I do it. I don't buy a lot of really expensive online stuff. The berberine I got from Dr. Nally. I think that's about it. And let me see if there's any other questions. I know I do tend to talk way too long on these things. Burping all day and at nighttime, Elvira, that's air trapped in your stomach that's coming up. So somehow you're swallowing air. So if you drink a real fizzy soda or you drink a sparkling water really quickly, we all know what happens there. You can, the teenage boys can make musical notes out of it and sing a song. So it's air that's in so you may have a habit of swallowing a lot during the day, or a lot of people find that if they don't drink liquids with their meal, because as you're drinking a liquid, a lot of times you'll swallow some air with that. So think through, you may have a nervous habit of just sort of swallowing during the day. And when you swallow to clear your throat, if you have saliva, you're going to actually swallow air as well. So it's nothing toxic to that I know of. If somebody here is online and knows that that's a bad thing, it's not fun. Your good cholesterol was 88. Doctor said that's unusually high. Yay. Thank you, Keto. Cassie, so 88 is high? Oh, your HDL. Okay. Yay for HDLs. HDL, I want you to think of the H as healthy, and I want you to think of the LDL as lousy. Although LDL, the lousy one, the one that everybody's so scared of, holy smokes. Listen to some stuff by Ivor, I-V-O-R, Cummings, C-U-M-M-I-N-S, or listen to stuff by Dr. David Diamond, like diamond on your, and it's not that I'm divorced. I can't keep my rings on my hand. They just slide right off. Good problem to have. I put on my beautiful James Avery, what's it called? Charm bracelet the other day, and it came down to here, and I could just pull it right off. So I got to get myself to the jewelers. It's a good problem to have. One table. Did you ever check on adaptive glucose sparing? I have not, Laura. Thank you for the reminder. I need to look that up. I've not. Yay! I'm starting soon. Good for you, Mari. K2 or B12? Oh, I do take a Susan. Thank you for asking that. I do take a B12. I haven't started taking K2. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And do you know when I remember it? When I hear it on a podcast or when someone asks me. And then I walk away and I forget about it. So I have not taken any K2, but I've heard good things about it. Yeah, the iodine. Yeah, and I also started because my Ferritin level was low. When I had my labs tested, I started on a time released. It's called slow FE. FE is the periodic table for iron. So I started on a slow FE. You just buy it at Walgreens or somewhere. And it's a timed release iron. It's less irritating to your stomach. Most people will get constipated if they take iron. I go the opposite direction and get diarrhea. So that's the only thing I can do. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Glad you're here. How much MCT oil? Yeah, some people will do, Tammy, you're so sweet. Hot tea. Yeah, hot tea is good. Yeah, if you, Dr. Cindy, you're so funny. Hey, guys, I'm going to have to go. I am sure I missed some questions. Let me scroll down to the bottom. Do I use intermittent fasting? Sorry, Susie. Thanks, Debbie. My sister is helping monitor. I can't catch all your comments. Intermittent fasting, everyone does it. We all do intermittent fasting. What does intermittent fasting mean? It means I've gone a period of time without food in my belly. So from the point you go to bed at night until you get up in the morning, you've just done an intermittent fast. So if you sleep 8 hours a night, which I hope you do, I don't usually, but I travel a lot. You've done it. You've put yourself into a 16-hour feeding window. So you've done some time-restricted feeding. Now, if you're not hungry in the morning and you can drink some water, some coffee with or without fat, your choice, and you can extend that out, and maybe you had dinner at 8 and you go till 8 a.m., that's 12 hours. Now you've put yourself into a 12-hour feeding window. And if you can go a little bit longer than that, if you can go till 11 a.m. or 11 or noon, now, so that's all intermittent fasting is. And yes, I do that. Yes, I do. Sometimes mandated by my flights, but definitely I have been playing around with it. Now, do I have a rigid schedule where I only eat within a 4 or 6 hour window? No. Nope. I'm just not that type. You asked me if I track all my macros, and what are your macros, Cindy? I don't know. The only thing I can guarantee you is I keep my carbs low. That's the only thing I can guarantee you. I do not have that personality to do that. I admire Dave Feldman so much for what he does, but it's not me. So, oh, yay. Hey, Deanna, I'm glad you made it live. Yay. Yay. Okay, so I take D3 and K2 together. That's interesting, Audrey. I'm going to see what I can do. What are my thoughts? Okay, what is berberine? It's a some sort of, not chemical, it's some sort of micronutrient that helps your body process sugar without having to have an insulin spike. Let me see what else. Sometimes poor fish oil capsules can cause burping. Oh, that's interesting. So the poor quality. Thank you for that. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Maybe you take them at night then. Eat mostly fat for Dr. Nally. Yeah, and then Dr. Nadir Ali. I'll try to go back. I got to go. I'll try to go back and put in some different things that I've talked about. Probably not right now because I've got to run downstairs and do my talk, and I'll go from this to working in the operating room. Yay! Yay for my job. I love my job, and I love you guys, and I hope that you have continued good health. I'll post that song that Lisa Tate sent me called Step by Step. Really, once you see it posted, take a minute and just listen to it. And then I want you to feel as encouraged as I felt, because this isn't a race. It's a journey, and it's a journey that is faster for some than others. But if you stay on the path, if you keep your carbs low, eat moderate amounts of protein, and keep your fats up, the healthy fats, not the inflammatory corn oil and things like that, but keep your fats, the healthy fats up, you're gonna hit your goal. What happens if it takes you 2 years? Where will you be 2 years from now if you go back to eating this standard American diet? So you guys have a great, great Saturday. I'm so glad that my computer works. Now I can come back to you with Facebooks. I'm in my hotel here in Philly, getting ready to go downtown. I am downtown. I'm getting ready to go downstairs. And you guys have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you soon. Bye.